Hello and welcome. We have with us a very well-known football panelist, a football pundit for English Premier League football, and he is the newly appointed technical director for Coup Sports. We have with us Paul Macefield. How did you get on board with Coup Sports? What attracted you to become technical director of Coup?
I was been talking to one of the directors for a good few months now, about 8 or 9 months, and I like the idea and their passion and their drive behind what they were trying to do, because it's not just football. They already have existing academies for cricket, about 15 throughout the country. They're working in 85 schools throughout the country, and they wanted to roll out football, and they asked would I be interested to join. So we had quite a few discussions, and in the end I said yes, and I'm really enjoying it, because the role involves a lot of travel throughout India, but not just the metro cities, going out into the suburbs, going out into the villages, and it's magnificent to see so many children and being welcomed with open arms, wanting and wishing to play football.
Is it easy to be a pundit then? Be approached on the field and deal with a lot of youngsters here?
You're all right in front of the camera, so I think you could be a pundit, so there's no problem there. I think people will find it difficult because, as you're well aware, and I'm sure you've worked with people, they freeze when the camera's turned on, and that's very difficult. I think I can remember doing my very first show, and it was nerve-wracking. There's no question about that. But once you get over that initial fear, it becomes quite easy, and I've evolved from being a pundit to presenting to commentating, and I do enjoy my media work. It's good fun. I've met some very interesting characters, and I find it now quite easy. The coaching side of things, anyone can be a coach as well. So anyone can be a pundit, anyone can be a coach, but it's how you coach and how you get your how you get it across to the children what you would like them to do. Particularly, I work with the children aged between 8 and 16, and you know, I really do enjoy working with kids that age, because you can see so much talent and you can develop and nurture that talent, but not everybody can be a coach or a good coach. So there's a fine balance, but it's one of those, if you want to be a coach or a pundit, you can toss a coin and anything could happen.
Coup Sports is dealing with something that has not been attempted by maybe not many organizations here in India. India is a very vast country, and they're trying to delve into all sorts of sports here. So tell us about football. What kind of programs have you chalked out for football along with Coup Sports?
Well, basically we're looking at mapping out and rolling out programs for children from the age of 6 years old to the age of 17. So there'll be under 6s, under 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, 17s, so that we've got the 6 age groups. We've already got and we're just touching up and finalising the programs per year for each of these age groups. And it's going to be basic learning, it's going to be small-sided games, it's going to be very much the ethos of letting the children have as many touches of the ball as possible, play as much football as possible, and not playing 11-a-side games. There's no good having 8, 10-year-old children playing 11 against 11. It's nonsense, because at the end of the day there'll be too fewer kids have not enough touches and they get bored. So we're condensing it, and we'll be working with 4-on-4, 5-on-5, and I think the max that we'll probably go up to the age of 14 would be 7 against 7. When they get to 14, then we'll look to try and turn them and develop them over the age of 14 into the full 11-a-side game. So that's kind of our outline and our ethos, which means that the kids get lots of touches of the ball, they get to feel the ball, they're involved all the time, and it makes them enjoy the game more, rather than just standing on the wing, scratching their leg and not being involved. So very much a hands-on approach from our side.
Right. You've been going to different cities, so what kind of kids are coming for this program? What kind of coaches are you interacting with, and how they are receiving your knowledge?
It's absolutely fantastic. It's been overwhelming. I mean, we had 150 kids in Kota. Like I said, it was quite scary. Been all over the country. The standard and the level needs a little bit of improvement. They need to learn the basics, and that's why we've been developing and working with the coaches as well. Been working today in Don Bosco, obviously in Goa, as you know, and you know we've had a load of coaches here, and we've been trying to educate them as well, because they help out with the local little academy school that's been set up down here. we're very much proactive in that sense. We want the coaches to learn as well as the children. And the one thing that the children are here in India is respectful, and also they're like a sponge because they just absorb everything. They want to learn, and that's one of the real joys of working over here with the young kids, is that they just want to learn. And I don't mind giving up as much time as I have to be able to try and help these kids learn the basics of football. If people are willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. It's as simple as that.
And most importantly, the coaches who have been dealing with these kids, are they having the right mentality to receive your ways of training?
Yep, we've been having coaching clinics for the coaches. We tried to identify some talent before we got this all on the road, and we've identified half a dozen to 10 coaches at the moment. We're always looking for more coaches, because the more academies and the more centres that we roll out throughout the country, the more good coaches we'll need. And we'll be conducting courses and clinics for our coaches, so that they know exactly what to do. I would expect that the next time I come back, I would be able to go to a session, and because of our map that we have for coaching sessions for the kids, I could turn up at that session and I would know exactly what the coach has got to do, exactly what he should be doing, exactly what he should be saying, because Michael, who's the international coach that we brought in as well, will be training them up while in my absence, while I'm away. So we do have a structure, we do have a system, and coaching education is very much at the forefront, because it's the coaches that do pass that knowledge on. So far, everyone has been receptive.
Good.
Everybody's enjoyed what we've done, and everybody's learnt, and that's another big thing and another important thing. So don't have a problem with the coaches, but we're always looking for more. So any coaches out there that fancy their chances,
right,
let us know. Get on the Facebook page at Coup Sports, find it.
Yep.
If you're an aspiring coach and you feel that you've got something to offer, something to give, just send me a message on Facebook through the Coup Sports /Coup Sports, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll have a look at you and see if we can work and develop you.
How are our kids different to the cities where other kids have been training in football? In what departments do our kids stand out?
The basics, and I can really say that, which is the ability to stop a ball, the ability to pass a ball, and the ability to move with the ball. And having done 2 sessions already today, we were up at 6:30 coaching this morning, we've just done one this afternoon. The ability for these kids to be able to know the basics, I haven't seen anywhere in India. And I've been north, south, east, west, I've been all over the place in the last 3 weeks. And today was the first time that we didn't have to keep stopping a session because of silly little basics that we needed to teach. Stop the ball, pass the ball. That's where the goings, I think, are slightly different, in that there is a development. There must be some sort of structure here where they've been learning.
Yes.
So because of that, I think that that's why they stand out a little bit more. But it doesn't mean that they can't be improved.
Absolutely, a lot of scope for improvement.
A lot of scope for everybody too.
For everybody.
But definitely, if I had to be honest, and you know me, I always say it straight, I always say it as it is. I would say that so far Goa is by far the standout state that I've been to so far for footballing talent. Mike, listen, one defender stays in the yellow zone. Stay in the yellow zone. One defender stays in the blue zone. That's it. When we win the ball, then you can both go. But stay in the zones, because this exercise is more for them, not for us, because we're all good looking, because we're defenders. All the strikers, they're all good. So don't worry about that. Okay? Next 2 go. One in the yellow zone, stay in the yellow zone. One in the blue zone, stay in the blue zone. 5 in my pass, and release, excellent ball. Finish, finish. Part of the yellow zone, don't you understand? Where's the yellow zone? Right. So, when I'm defending, I can't go past here. Until we win the ball. Okay? If you're in the blue zone, stay in the blue zone. Okay? You, me, here. Everybody else wants from the side. I'll go in the yellow zone for one. Move over. You go there. Up, up. You 3 don't stand over there. Don't stand over there. 3 of you. Look. Here. Okay, stand up, stand up. Okay, I'll tag you this way.
If we look at the larger perspective of Indian football, we fall short by a very big margin as to becoming a very standard product and people and growing our followers for the brand. So if you could advise us as to where exactly there are the loopholes in our system and how can we improve as a product of for Indian football?
That's a tough one and a difficult one, because obviously the AIFF feel that they're trying to do the right thing and they're trying to improve the league year on year. I think that the biggest problem with Indian football is the infrastructure. I don't think that it's as sound and as solid as it should be. That being said, having spoken to some of the clubs today in Goa, I've been down at Sporting Club today. Viva Sporting, I've got to say that by the way. Their training facility that they've just put in,
yes.
Don Bosco, yeah.
It's nice.
I was begging father to let me onto the field of play because it was beautiful. I mean, it is absolutely top draw. So there are certain clubs, Churchill Brothers as well, who won the league last year. Their infrastructure is very good. Pune is starting to make inroads in that. But I think that the biggest problem is the infrastructure at the grassroots level to be able to develop into the I-League level. And then the money and the funds aren't coming down from the FA. So the clubs have to become self-sufficient, which they are already. They need support from the big major corporations to be able to invest in them, and maybe they can get tax breaks or something, but to support the communities, to give something back and create a family environment. They do it through cricket, why can't they do it through football? That's a big thing for me. And then you look now and you go all the way to the top and you turn around and see that somebody wants to set up a rogue league or split league.
Absolutely.
This IMG Alliance. I think my comments have been very well documented on that. I stand by my comments. They're my own personal opinions. But I've had messages of support from, well, there's a chief exec in the UK text me and said that they saw it. I've also had a commercial guy from the UK. I've had press all over Asia calling me about it, saying, you know, why did you say this? And I've told them. And they've said, good on you, fair play. They believe that I've made the right stance as well. I would hate to see Indian football fail for something that's ridiculous, which would be a 70-day league. Cricket, brilliant, no problem. The format works. All the players are contracted to the BCCI, so there's no problem. It can fit into their calendar. Don't ruin years and years and years and years and years of hard work, which the I-League has put in and done, and the clubs. Are they forgetting the chairman who pay the wages every week, the fans that go and watch this, and they're going to try and ruin it straight away? I'm sorry, for me, that is poor management. Indonesia, split. They have two federations. I would hate to see India go that way when it's starting to move in the right direction by putting all its ducks in a row. So a lot of people need to look at themselves hard in the mirror here and decide, is this the best way for Indian football? Do you want a season for 2 months a year? And do you want to totally decimate football from your calendar and say cricket will be #1 forever? Or do you want to turn around and say, hey, let's stick with the I-League, let's get behind that, let's grow the numbers, let's have a bigger talent pool, let's have a bigger talent base, and let's go after cricket.
Absolutely.
Why can't football be on a par with cricket here? It will be one day.
Yes.
Mark my words, it will be one day, because cricket has plateaued. You can't get any more saturation than cricket at the moment. Football's growing.
Yes.
And it's coming up from behind, and no one knows it yet, but you watch, after the World Cup next year, there'll be more than twice as many people playing the game at grassroots level than there are today. That you can be sure.